How to assess your control by means of which one? Flowcharts. Simple. Uh, Let us take a system has been developed for a company. A system has been developed for a company. Okay, you just prepare a flowchart. Purpose number 1, 2, 3, 4. Then access point number 1, 2, 3, 4. Access levels 1, 2, 3, 4. Access control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so prepare a flowchart. Who will access what information? Who will access what information? Then try to see whether other information is accessed by somebody else. For example, purchase department should able to be access information only related to which one? Purchases, and not related to production scheduling or other information. Okay, not cash information, etc. And all. So access control by means of which one? Flowchart. Who can access what? What is the limit of access? Okay, that will enable you to have a preventive control rather than which one? Detective control, or which one? Corrective control. Okay, that's one. Look at this. A payroll cycle flowchart helps you to illustrate whether access to employees' personal information for the payroll records is properly secured at every point of access. Okay. In the invoicing department, a supervisor made to review the invoices accuracy before they are sent. A system flowchart will clearly indicate each step. Clear? Invoices prepared, a system supervisor will review the invoices and send it to the client kind of a thing. Clear? So that is about which one? Process control through which one? Accessing control by means of which one? Flowcharts. Next. System and programming development and change which one? Control. Simple. When you develop a program or a system, clear, state the objective. State the objective. What do you mean by state the objective? What is the purpose of that particular program, or what is the purpose of that particular project, or what is the purpose of that particular, app or system, or maybe a software or whatever. For example, you want to develop an accounting software. You want to develop an accounting. What is the purpose? State the objective. Will it do only accounting, or will it do something extra? What do you mean by something extra? For example, you are developing an accounting system or software for Bharadwaj. What and all should be there? State the objectives. Number one, demo classes should be available. Number two, course information should be available. Number three, scheduling of classes should be available. And the faculty information should be available. Data about the past students should be available. Past success students' photos or data should be available. Then fee structure for different options should be available. Then enrollment process should be available. Once they enroll, the data should be captured and recorded by the system cost center wise, which means when a student registers for CMA, it should go to a separate file than of CA or CS, like that. Each level should have a separate access, foundation or inter or final, like that. Then generation of student's ID card. Generation of which one? So when the student clicks and submits the button, the system or website should develop the ID card and send it to the student's WhatsApp or email ID, where the student can download and keep it in email, or they can print and have it, or an order will be sent for printing, where the supplier will print and give. Then an instruction will be given to the material dispatch department. The student has placed an online order, dispatch the material. You dispatch the material and the money. Then students who are coming for face-to-face live online, are you having separate data? Then record and attendance keeping. The system or software should integrate which one? Attendance system, where when a student walks in and swipes the card, automatically the attendance should be recorded in the system and the communication to the student or the parent should go. Okay, like this, features are there. I can add on more features. What do you mean by add on more features? Test platform, students feedback platform, mentoring platform, stress management platform, study plan platform. And the money, you can have a website or a software that is having one feature, just accounting, or 100 features. So state the objective. What is the purpose for which you are going to have a website? Clear? So written proposal, then nature and scope of the project should be clearly defined. Should be clearly what? Defined. Next. Investigation and feasibility of study of alternative solution. Then website developer has said, our website will take care of only this much. We can do only this much. We can give information. We can do SEO optimization where you come in the search. Okay, we can provide for demo classes, enrollment, etc. and all. Attendance tracking or test conducting or giving recorded classes and all we cannot do. Because students, we don't have a control over that. We don't have a control over that like that. That is what. Investigation of feasibility study and which one? Alternative solution. They suggested for website, this is information that we provide. For recorded classes, you do this. For live classes, you do this. For test management, go for this platform like that. Alternative solutions are suggested. Cost benefit analysis. What do you mean by cost benefit analysis? Simple. How your unit tests are conducted? Is it through an app or Google form? Google form. Have you written the test? When you appear for the test and submit, what do you get? Marks scored. How many correct answers? How many wrong answers? And are you getting suggested answers? Feedback in the form of what is your answer? What is the correct answer? Are you getting it? That's what a software will do. Same thing. The student writes and submits. Clear? That will give a review. How many marks you scored out of how many marks? Okay. And what is your wrong answer? What is the suggested answer for which one? Wrong answer as well as what? Right answer. That is what a software can give you. But creating a software will cost some 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs. Going for a Google form costs nothing. Cost which one? Nothing. So better to go with which one? Google form. In the Google form itself, now they are going for the next model called as Swiss models. Okay, same like in software, the presentations will come where the students can answer different questions kind of a thing. That's what. So make a cost benefit analysis. Is it worth to spend? Is it worth to spend? Feasibility study. What do you mean by feasibility study? This Google form method of testing can be conducted for CMAOs. Can that be adopted for Indian courses like CA or CS? No, they are descriptive exams. So Google form method will not work. Google form method will not work. So you have to go for some other method. Then evaluating which one? Possible solutions and criteria developed for consideration. Then technical feasibility of each alternative. Who will use this? Assist them in using. Development of team. Development team should have what? Good knowledge. For example, you're developing an e-learning app. You're developing an e-learning app. 1 minute. We developed an e-learning app during the COVID. But we found that, okay, number one, from the user end, it is not friendly. From the institute end also, to load the data, it took a lot of time. It took which one? A lot of time. You would rework out everything and do it. After reworking and doing, that was not effective from the student end. For MCQ, it is okay. For lengthy answer question, when the student access, it comes as a small font size. Our response rate is very, very slow. Or for each responses, they were keeping on charging, etc. and all. That's what. So development team should have a good knowledge about what we want, and senior management should review and report the feasibility studies. Then after the approved project, the master plan should be created, maintained to our control over the project throughout the life. Clear? So all these things are required for conducting which one? Investigation as to whether the system or software will work for me or not. Conducting a feasibility study. Okay, that is number one. What is the next one? System analytics. What do you mean by system analytics? Current systems can be use it or discard it or modify and use it or changeover required. That is what. What is the weak point of the current system? What information that is need to be required in the new system? Okay, based on that you develop. Okay, system analysis. Okay, what is the current system that is used? What is the weakness? Remove it and upgrade to a new system like that. Okay, for example, one of the system that is there is, for example, there is an option to WhatsApp. There is an option to which one? WhatsApp. And for example, if people are not responding, is there a method? For example, you place an inquiry, people are not responding. One main problem of the people is the employees are not responding to the queries of customers. There is weakness of the current system. How to overcome it? You are placing a request or you are placing, a service order, you are placing a communicating, but response is not coming from the other end. How to overcome this? One of the methods is AI tooling. Standard questions asked by the customer, standard replies are given by the system. Okay. And if the system is not able to reply, we require a human intervention. The human is not replying, there should be a control where proper response is not received like that. A complaint should be lodged, then active action should be taken. An action could be taken in the money. So analyze the current system, like input process requirements and output and security requirements, etc. and all. Then what process we are using now, analyze it. Thereafter design. Thereafter which one? Design. What do you mean by design? Go for a new software or a new project. So specification should be reviewed and approved by what? Management. For example, we started designing this new website. Courses page la pathina, which course to give? What data you have to give? This structure, structure of the website, how it should come, and what are the tabs you want to give? It's going to be like a design specification for a website. Software, for example, you go to a vegetable shop, you can find that there's a template coming. So designing the specifications, designing what? Design specification will be given and approved by what? Management. Thereafter, okay, program specification. For example, you're running a departmental store. Okay, there is a software that is developed. What and all should be there in the software? Tell me what are the things should be there in the software. When quantities are purchased, you have to upload. Number two, whenever the quantities are sold, it should be adjusted, which means we integrated invoice with inventory. We integrated which one? Invoice and accounting with which one? Inventory, number one. Number two, who will have the access? For example, I want to load the inventory. Can the billing people load the inventory, or there should be a control server in which you load the inventory? Control server. You want to scrap an inventory, defective goods. Control server should be with the superior or supervisor. See why it is becoming defective, why it has to be scrapped and the money. What about whether your system should have attendance, maintenance of the people? Design. Here, if you want, you can include it. Okay, whether your system should record CCTV camera access, online live access. Yes, if it is a multi-branch departmental store, that access may be required. Otherwise, it may not be required. Because sometimes, customer would have come and paid the money in the counter. You may argue that money is not paid by the counter or at the counter. So that time, even the CCTV camera access is required in which one? The systems and the money. Data elements. In the data you store pannanikkireenga. Is it only billing, or is it inventory record, or is it employee record? Is it like total records of receivables and payable, or customer order record, customer order reward points? Which data you want to store, and in which file format you want to store? It is not only the Excel option. There are other options which are available. Then external and internal interfaces. Okay, specify, assign, and document and the money. Then interface between the user and the machine should be what? Easy to use. Some people, you keep waiting for long, they are not able to operate the system and give the results now. They will get irritated. The mechanism for collection of entry or data should be specified. Okay, how to enter the data, product data, customer data, production data. Okay, so how to collect the data. Then, for example, let's assume you are going for a restaurant. At the end of the thing, they give a tab and ask you to review. They ask you and give you a which one review. Otherwise, what information you collect, the software would have been well designed. Otherwise, what data you want to collect, birthday information, marriage anniversary information, their profession, maybe their email ID, their mobile number, what do you want to collect? Okay, so other mechanism for collecting the data. Are you going to, earlier version of the Padina, they used to fill the data manually. Sir, feedback data, please provide the. You may fill it for namesake. Now they give a tab where in which more accurate data comes. Okay, mechanism for audit trials should be developed and given. That is the next one. What is the next one? Physical design. Physical design. What is the first one? Hardware and which one? Software selection. For example, you want to go for iMac, iTunes, all those things, iStore, or you want to go for Windows-based platforms, Ubuntu-based platforms, or your own customized design, or your own which one? Customized design in the market. Then up-to-date inventory of which one? Hardware and software infrastructure should be available. Then acquisition policies and practices, like which system you want to buy, which monitor you want to buy, which input devices and printers you want to buy in the market. And contract with the supplier should have what? Clear definition. I want to buy a system for my company or hardware for our company. Should have a clear-cut design. What do you mean by design? Specifications. இதுதான் நான் purchase பண்ண போறேன்னு specification வரும். Then vendor packages are to be used. They should be evaluated what? Rigorously. For example, attendance tracking system, you can develop your own or you can purchase from somebody and you can use it on the market. Then only authorized people should be able to what? Call vendor technical support department and the Mali. Performance and capacity measurement should be duly complied. Key requirements should be prioritized in going for which one? Physical design of the system. Physical design of the system. For example, let us take different BPOs, different software company. Are they using the same system? Some companies purchase integrated system. What do you mean by integrated system? The monitor itself, CPU will be integrated or is integrated. Some companies go for in the monitor, they will attach a small CPU, maybe a mini PC, like that they attach. Some companies go for a system with a CPU, where data is stored in the CPU. Some companies go for system with a processor only, data will be stored in the central server. Data will be stored in the central server. Which physical design you want? You specify depending upon cost benefit analysis, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? For example, let us take Saravana Stores billing. 6 floors they bill, 8 floors they bill. Each floor 5 systems, 8 into 5, 40 system they bill. Where the information is stored? System store or centralized store. Centralized, there is a separate maybe network center, hard disk. There the information is stored. There the information is stored. Nothing will be stored in the system. Okay. Hour by hour, shift by shift, the management will be able to get what? The collection, information, billing, etc. So physical is the design. And again, physical design, you want to go by cable network or Wi-Fi network. All these things comes under which one? Physical design. What is the next one? Development and testing is nothing but programs are created, procedure for operating the system is created, and development activity and testing activities are separate, and resources available are separated for testing. Then pilot testing is done. What do you mean by pilot testing? For example, you install the system in 8 floors into 4. About 32 systems are there. Simple. System 1, 2, 3, 4. Process billing, process billing, process billing. Is it getting stored, updated? Check, check. Okay. Then all the 32 systems. Okay, process. Whether this is stored in the system or there is a lag. System 1, System 2, System 3, all the 32 systems record the transaction and press the enter, and system hang, there is a problem with the server. So perform tests. Perform which one? Test. Okay. Development the software, develop the hardware, install it, thereafter what? Test it. And a customer will wait for sorry sir, server work, then you will cut a salary. Sometimes you can find billing பண்ணுவாங்க server work ஆகாது, especially in McDonald's, Domino's pizza and all, this will happen. Like adellame is connected to cloud. Connected to which one? Cloud. So system software entry பண்ணி press பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பாங்க, that bill will not get generated. Or you would have paid the money and the payment and reflect ஆகாது. Or payment reflect ஆகும், bill generate ஆகாது. Without generating the bill, the kitchen they will not, bake it and deliver. Bake it and what? Deliver. அதெல்லாம் you have to test it properly before you implement the system. Thereafter, implement the system and convert the system. Simple. Ensure that you create a system documentation. You create which one? The program documentation like source code, input, output forms, etc. and all. Then operating documentation, procedural documentation, user documentation, எல்லாமே proper create பண்ணு. System documentation will include, okay, input, output என்னென்ன வரும், okay, controls, authorization, backup procedures எல்லாமே இருக்கும். Program documentation which will include, for example, website இருக்கு இல்லையா, website அப்படியே வச்சுப்பீங்களா இல்லை பேக்கப் வச்சுப்பீங்க? பேக்கப் இல்லை. Then operating documentation, like information required to operate the program. ஒரு ஆப்ரேட்டர் வந்து உட்கார்ந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமா step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 அந்த மாதிரி. Procedural documentation, right? A master plan that is given for operating it. Then user documentation is nothing but information about the user will be maintained on the market. That is another one. What is the next one? Operations and maintenance. Hardware, software, when they are operated, will there be bug or no bug? There will be bug. Why? How? For example, system for online order. System for which one? Online order. There is only one stock available. There is only one stock available. You chose the stock, added to the cart, and made the payment. When you are doing this process, you took about 5 minutes of time. Another customer, the stock has not moved out. Another customer also chose that particular one stock. Okay, moved to the cart and made the payment. By the time you make the payment is received by them. Stock is not available. Why? One stock, two customers picking at the same time, but whereas one customer paid the money early, paid the money what? Early, where the other customer paying the money for the same product, but the stock is not available. So this problem arises. This is called as operational issue and which one? Maintenance issue. What to do now? They developed a system where if a customer adds a product to the cart, the system will wait for 5 minutes. The system will wait for 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, the customer should place the order. Otherwise, whichever the customer is placing the order, only to the customer the product will go. Because when you go to the payment page, items is not available more. Best example is Swiggy or Zepto or whatever, the online grocery delivery stores. You have picked a milk packet, 2 packets, add to cart, but the time when you press the payment, that will say, sorry, these 2 items are not available more, which means you can remove it. Otherwise, it will result in issues. So, operations and maintenance system will be audited periodically so that it works properly. Maintenance process should be utilized to correct which one? Errors like this. Then process should be in place. For example, you place a food order. You placed a food order. Then order is taken. Then you will find, sorry sir, we took the order. Idli available இல்லை அதுக்கு பதிலா தோசை வாங்கிக்கிறீங்களா இந்த ஜூஸ் available இருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி they will tell you. Okay, one of the best example is this system maintained for online ordering. Clear? So the coordination is missing. The coordination between what is missing. Then production of duties should be separated from which one? Development duties. Then maintenance person should have what? Specific assignments. Their work should be what? Monitored. Then any modification in the system should be authorized by what? User management team. Then any change should be tested. Whenever the changes are implemented, ensure that documentation and procedures are updated accordingly. Clear? So this is about which one? Operation and which one? Maintenance. This is about which one? Operation and which one? Maintenance. All these things are coming under which one? System control. All these things are coming under system controls.